Alright, welcome to Just Magic the Gathering. I was looking at doing my draft, or I was actually entertaining just doing my daily and saving my draft for tomorrow because it's getting a little late and I'd like to get a game in. I slimmed this down to 40 cards and I figured I'd just give it a try. There's, even though it says there's only 6 creatures, all 4 of my artifacts can come in with manifest, so they turn into creatures. And I have 3 of, it has to be my instants, that can also manifest me creatures. So that brings me up to 13 creature cards, or potential creature cards, with having 14 non-creatures and 14 lands. I really have struggled on trying to get this last card out. I like Unable to Scream in that it's a decent control card. If they play something like the Enduring Courage or Enduring Tenacity, I can just turn it into a 0/2. The Fear of Lost Teeth is a creature, and I was really reluctant to pull creatures. I did pull 2 creatures out that were kind of expensive. This one forces me to discard a card, and I can replace it, but I wasn't really a huge fan of it. I mean, it also forces them to discard, and I don't know. The other one I pulled was the Piranha. It is for 2, you get a 2/1 flyer that enters tapped, so it's slowed down. But ultimately I went with 2 Fear of Lost Teeth. I have the Get Out. I have a few cards that allow me to do multiple things, so this allows me to counter target creature or enchantment spell, which includes the doors and things like that. Or even something like the Trapped in a Screen. This can be nice in a way. I wish I had a little bit more enchantment control. But with that being said, I have the Paranormal Analyst with the Innocuous Rat. So I tried to basically make everything more lean towards manifesting over the like eerie aspect. The Innocuous Rat gives me dread when it or manifest when it dies. Control. This falls back under control. They have to sacrifice their creature, and whenever the other creature gets damaged, it dies. The Cursed Windbreaker. This going back to, it's an artifact that allows me to get a flyer as well as manifest dread with it. Erratic Apparition. I was in a way tempted to pull this for my last card. Twist Reality I like because I can counter any spell, and it's not like they can pay 2 additional to cover it. So for 3 I can just counter any spell. Or I can manifest dread. Unwilling Vessel. In fact, I was half tempted to... I do have a fair amount of enchantments in this, so this should be proccing fairly nicely. But when it dies, I get a flyer out of it. I ended up with 3 Cracked Skulls, and this was actually interesting. I can put 5 Cracked Skulls in my draft deck, and it doesn't complain that my deck's invalid. I was thought you could only have 4 of 1 card, and that's the normal Magic rules, but in the draft I guess it's a little bit different. Because yeah, it doesn't complain about 5 Cracked Skulls leading me to an invalid deck. Killer Mask, it allows for manifest, the 3 murders for control, play the game. I thought about pulling this just because it's expensive, and same with the Ley Line of the Void. I pulled my other Ley Line because there's no unifying thing that this deck centers around. It's not like I can make them all warriors and have something that buffs warriors. The Ley Line of the Void, on the other hand, is handy in that there are the Endurings. So there are enchantments, creatures that when you kill, they turn into enchantments, and this will fix that. So I think this is my biggest hope in being able to easily deal with some of the Endurings. The Conductive Machete for both the Manifest and you get a 2/1. The Bottomless Pool and the Locker Room, I kept both of these in because it can lead to card draw if I get the mana for it, and it allows it for control. And then just 7 lands, 7 swamps. So it should be 13, 14, 14 at 41. So, and my overall arc is cheap, 2.9. I'm a little concerned about, I need 2 blacks for a couple of these and 2 blues for a couple of these. So I hope in a way I don't get mana screwed. But with that being said, I was just going to give it a try and see how it treats me. I have a feeling this might not be a quote-unquote quick win, or this looks like kind of a slow deck. It's mostly based around control and slowdown. It's taking a while to find an opponent, which I'm not sure bodes well or not. And match me instantly into somebody on silver, that is not good on my behalf. I have to mulligan. The Cursed Windbreaker, the Unwilling Vessel. I think I'm going to return my Cracked Skull. They do try and make it so Valgoth's Lair. Yeah, this doesn't necessarily bode well for me. They normally try to, whenever it enters or dies, you get a Surveil. Just trying to figure out what best to do. At this point, I'm just going to basically have to pass. This allows it to, they have to sacrifice one. The Haunted Screen. With a 3-1, I was almost wondering if I'm unable to scream him. I think this might be going pretty quick. I'm not really sure the best way to handle it. If he plays a creature, I can do the spontaneous or sporogenic infection. I don't know why it is taking so long, or if he attacked, it's not giving me the option to declare defenders? At this point, I'm probably just going to take the hit. Wondering what the long pause is for. He should be able to have 5 mana to do something. That did not necessarily bode well for me. I could just destroy. Yeah, sorry. It was probably a little bit of dead air there while I was trying to figure out what potentially to do. When this creature enters, you may pay 2 to destroy a target room. Well, I conveniently don't have any rooms out. If I kill his... I can unable to scream his anthropod. The thing... If I do the sporadic infection... Whenever it sacrifices a creature other than the one they chose. Target the player. I can still unable to scream it. I don't know. This is not really going in my favor. Or going back to it's slow. He only has 2 cards left. I need to be able to stay ahead of his, I guess, creatures. I'm wondering what he has up his sleeve, or I guess in this case she has up her sleeve. And that's in a way where I'm glad I'll save my murder. Alright, what has this done? Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Discard a card, this card, and return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we'll get a card replacement for it. And I'll be happy to trade the 1/3 for the 3/1. That's a 7/7. Well played. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is their game. Good game. A 4/2. They just cleared out their hand. Because I can't actually get around it. Oh, yeah, that was stupid. They're going back to... Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's game. I could have, at a certain point, done the cracked skull early, and... made him discard one of those cards. I need to remember that that actually has the cracked skull, or has the discard ability. So yeah, not the greatest showing, that's for sure. It wasn't a landslide loss. I was wondering about just trying to get a quick win in, I know I'm already pushing the 15-minute mark, but hopefully I can just get a quick win and call it a day. Because I did not get my win in yesterday either. Just wondering about returning my Enduring Tenacity. The Dragonfire Blade. Gain 1 life. I'll take the Scry. I'm half tempted to bury that, but I almost need the mana. What is this? Whenever this creature, another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain the 1 life. So the double team on that's going to be problematic if I'm not careful. A 2/2 Hungry Ghoul. In this case, I can actually play my Golden Sidekick, and that life goes to no counters for me, unfortunately. The Scavenger's Assistant, I have to discard. Now, whenever 1 or more creatures you control dies, create a food token. So he gets a food token out of the deal. Let's see, just need to keep the pressure on him. I'm assuming he's playing mono black and he has some control. So whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target player mills cards. I can destroy his enchantment. I'm not sure if that was the best option or not. I'm not sure, playing the slow game, or he seems to have missed a couple mana drops and it doesn't concern him. Or, yeah. I think there it began to concern him. But with that, I am going to call it. I got my win in. I should have gotten a bunch of coins. Well, a bunch is relative. But yeah. With that, I look forward to playing some Magic in the future.